All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. I just want to welcome you and thank you for taking time to come today. My name is Nate John. I'm the Health and Wellness Director at the Y. And kind of the reason I'm here to talk is to kind of go over why this is happening today and why we're here today. This was kind of all started a little over 3 years ago with, it's called the Achieve Initiative. It's a grant that the Y received from the Centers of Disease Control, with the focus of that grant being on policy systems and environment change that happens in the community setting to address community health. It can influence, the actual community at large setting, down to individual organizational changes as well. This initiative was really brought together by a group of key stakeholders and leaders in the community with various partners that were able to work together to kind of give some direction of what needs to be focused on. What some of the key achievements, I'll really only touch on one specifically because it's really the most impactful one, is the very first one there, the health chapter in the city's comprehensive plan. What this chapter is it actually makes the linkage between both the built environment of the city and health and how they impact each other. This is something that is still very new across the country. It's happening across the country to make these linkages, but it's still being learned to be understood and accepted. It's beginning to be looked at as a best practice for communities to get into. One of the very interesting and exciting things about it is the Centers of Disease Control is actually monitoring us here in Eau Claire, and they're actually working with us to write a success story and document all of the work relating to that health chapter so that they can use that information to go to Congress and explain to them the successes that we're having in Eau Claire with these types of large-scale community-based policy systems and environment changes. So it's something quite exciting. Just recently, the Achieve effort, we kind of aligned things and merged with another long existing coalition called the Healthy Communities Council. What we're trying to do is get all the ships in the same direction in the community. There's a lot of work, a lot of parallel work going on, so we want to be able to get everyone together and move forward consistently. And really the kind of transitioning into why we're here today is this is kind of the next phase of what the Achieve Initiative is kind of focusing on. It's the workplace and how to address health and well-being in that setting. It addresses, it obviously addresses the employee, it addresses the adults, but it's able to address the families as well. Some of my personal experience with all this, I was exposed to it in 2010 when we kind of were first beginning the Achieve Initiative. I had little bits and pieces of it here and there, so I was kind of slowly able to grasp things and just be exposed to things along the way. And I was able to understand things at different levels as I tinkered with things myself. What it really helped me to do was establish some directional clarity of kind of where we're going, where my department is going. I'm in charge of the Health and Wellness Department at the Y. So it allowed me to really look at some things and define where exactly are we going. Where does my department fit in with the bigger picture, both locally as the Y, but also nationally as well. With the Y going through a rebranding process. We were the YMCA, now we're known as the Y. We have a different logo, all those things. It allowed us to align with the focuses of the Y nationally with youth development, healthy living, and social responsibility being the three core focus areas. And I was able to kind of really focus on those things to instill them in my staff as well. Relating to staff, the structure was a piece that I couldn't get all of the structural pieces of my staffing together at one time. I knew where I wanted to be eventually, but it takes a lot of different pieces to get there. In my experience with all of this, it was able to allow me to kind of define what structure was needed and then begin to actually build that structure so that my staff can actually have truly shared ownership and accountability and be able to take responsibility for things that maybe normally would all be on my shoulders, but I'm able to share that load with them so that we can move forward much faster. Some of the things that it's allowed my employees to do is the productivity of my team has continued to skyrocket. They are always becoming more and more productive. No question about it. They're accomplishing things that can continue to kind of blow me away. Their endless energy is always present. It's not just at work either. They have the energy at work, but they're able to go home and still have energy to do things with their family, to play with their kids and do things that are fun for them. And they have that motivation to continue doing those things as well. Me personally, and all of you I'm sure can relate, no matter what, you take work home with you. It's on your shoulders at times. You think about it. You're stressed out. I was young in my career. I was experiencing new things, getting stressed out. This really allowed me to take a look at myself, create balance, but also by being able to empower my staff more, give them more shared responsibility. That relieved a lot of that burden from my shoulders as well. And there's really no question that, there's staff that at the Y that they have no clue that I'm kind of learning these things and trying them, but I'm able to kind of influence some of the things that I'm doing. It begins to rub off on them as well, so that they're able to see things and learn from them and grow as well. And there's no question that it's been able to influence them in how their growth and their areas and departments as well. So, kind of transition now and turn it over to Mark Sauter to get into the rest.